This episode probably should have been called Snitches Get Stitches. It's Sharona from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing Black Lightning, episode 4, Black Jesus. So basically the episode opens up at the school, and we see one of Jefferson's students has basically turned into a mini Hulk and is just basically wreaking havoc on the bathroom. And he is going so crazy that Jefferson literally has to like hit him twice with lightning. And he realizes that his student's under the influence of some type of drug that's just made him go completely crazy. And then we kind of go into the next scene where we see Anissa, who's driving around, and she happens to see two of her students who are talking to some guys, and she can see that they're not the right type of guys that they should be talking to. And you see that they're actually holding the drug that the student was under the influence of in the bathroom. But when Anissa got out of the car and the student was like, "Here come Harriet Tubman," I was done, okay? I can't. Y'all wrong for that. And it's February, okay? Leave Harriet Tubman alone, because she helped a lot of people. And Anissa trying to help you from making poor decisions. So then we see that Jefferson is basically on a hunt now to try to figure out who is behind selling these drugs. We learn a name called Two Bits. What is with these names that these like drug dealers like want to be gang Two Bits, Lala, like just y'all. We got to come up with some better names for you guys, because this is just too much. I can't be scared of someone by the name of Two Bits or Lala. It's just, I can't. And it doesn't end well for all these people who have crazy names, okay? So, so we learned that, we see Lady Eve, played by Jill Scott. I guess she owns like a funeral home, because like the way that she's just having this casual conversation as I guess she's embalming a body, I was just like, okay, this is a little weird, but you know, I'm gonna go with it. And she's talking to Tobias, who we learned that he used to be a politician, or he was an aspiring politician, and he lost, which kind of led him to the dark path of working for her. And basically she starts off with to let them know like, hey, did you know back in the day in Africa, you know, they used to capture albinos, and they used to actually kill them and cremate their bodies so they can sell their bones, because albinos were known to be magical, and so they would cremate them and sell their cremated remains as magic dust. And so I don't know, she's just telling them that, like, get yourself in line. But I like how they keep having this reoccurring theme of him struggling with being albino. And she basically tells him, look, Tobias, you lied to me, okay? You lied, okay? We gave you a chance because you told everyone that you killed Black Lightning, okay? That's how you got to be over the 100. That is why we put you in this position of power. And now it's just like, you know, it's kind of like when you put all this crazy stuff on your resume, and then after you start the job and they're like, hey, why don't you know how to do these things? And basically you find out that person lied about their skill sets. And Tobias is being called a liar, and she's basically telling them, look, get your ish together, okay? Because the people are not happy about you. You told us he was dead, now he's alive, he's causing trouble, hurting our pockets, and basically I'm gonna make you into magic dust if you don't get this taken care of. So this angers Tobias, and you see later on in the episode he goes after the doctor. And when he was like, what happened to was it the dude dressed like Earth, Wind, and Fire? I was like, huh? Like, can I get a flashback to that? Because I just wanted to see the outfit. But then he kills him because he's like, you made a fool of me. I don't know why I just broke out into that random song, but I think it kind of relates, because he made a fool out of him because he told him that Black Lightning was dead. Please excuse my singing voice, but I really thought that it was applicable to what I was talking about. So he kills him, and then basically there's a backstory going on with the student in the beginning of the episode, because now the board is basically calling for him to be expelled. He took drugs, he caused all this craziness in the school, and so they want him expelled. And Jefferson's like, no, you know, we're gonna give him another chance. And then the thirsty vice principal finally grew a backbone, was like, hey, I am not your secretary, okay? So if you want me to go back to the board and tell them that you're not doing it, do it yourself, okay? I was like, yes, if we can get you to stop being thirsty, you might make it on my good side. So in between that battle, you see him talking to the kid with his dad, and he's kind of like, hey, I am not going to let you miss out on your opportunity to better yourself. His dad said he had got acceptance letters from colleges, and so he was begging and pleading for his son not to be expelled, so his life basically would not be over. And he tells him like, hey, I'm not going to do that. Like, he kind of gets the kid pumped up like, hey, you're meant for greatness, you're meant for more. But then he was like, but I'm gonna need you to go ahead and snitch and give me these names. And he was like, I ain't no snitch. And his daddy was like, today you will be, because you're gonna stay in school and you're gonna go to college. So that's why I was kind of like, snitches like get stitches, because it was just so much snitching going on, like in this whole episode. Even in the beginning when he's looking for people and he told the dude like, hey, I can do this all night, what you gonna do? He's like, I ain't know. And then yeah, he started spilling the beans. So we see all of that, and then we kind of go into Jennifer's dilemma. So Khalil has been officially pronounced that he's diagnosed that he's paralyzed, and we see even later in the episode that his spine is completely severed, so there's no hopes of him walking again. And so we see Jennifer basically kind of torn about it, and she really wants to make sure that she's there for Khalil, and she wants to help try to give him some type of hope. But in the midst of all of that, she's kind of let school take a back seat. You see that she's leaving track practice early. She tells her parents like, hey, I don't want to do track anymore. Like, I was only doing it for you, Dad. It's not what I want to do. And her mom, even though Jefferson doesn't agree with it, says, hey, if you don't want to do this in 2 days, I just want you to think about it. I will accept your decision. And he was not happy about that. But she tells Khalil like, hey, I quit. And he was just like, okay. And I was kind of like, I was like, Khalil, that was when I needed you to be like, no, don't let my situation stop you from your greatness. Like, go do it, or at least like do it for me or something. I don't know if it was just me. I was just really bothered by him not kind of being nonchalant, like, oh, okay, you quit. Okay, whatever. But then, so with Anissa. So Anissa's still hanging out with this chick and Grace. That's fine, I'll call her Grace. I ain't gonna be evil. But they're hanging out, and then basically she is hanging out with her, and she gets, I guess Grace has been harassed by these guys. Anissa basically helps protect her, uses her powers against them. And I think Peter like noticed that it was Anissa. So I don't know why Peter holding so many secrets from Jefferson, but I don't know. I don't know for sure, but in my heart of hearts, I felt like he knew. And then we also saw Anissa go ahead and knock the hell out of the 2 dudes in the beginning of the episode who called her a bitch. And she's like, who your bitch now? Because you got knocked the hell out, okay? I was here for that. Yes, girl power. Anissa, kick their ass, okay? So I'm trying to make sure I get everything. But one of the 2 main things I want to cover before getting into the ending of the episode is I love how well-mannered these girls are, because even when Jennifer is arguing with her parents and she was like, hey, can I be excused? You know, because most people would have just tried to walk off and you would got your neck snatched right on back into the conversation. But I like how she was like, hey, can I just be excused? Like, I just need a moment. And then even when they're at the dinner table and Anissa is like going hard for Black Lightning, and she basically told Henderson like, he doing your job too, so I don't even understand why you have an issue with him. And then Jefferson just sitting there sipping his wine like, tell him, Anissa, tell him why Black Lightning is good. I love that whole like, you know, little dialogue at the table, because I really needed someone to get Henderson together, because I don't understand where all this like hate is for Black Lightning, especially when you know your police force is basically being paid to like keep all this mess going on with the 100. So I really like that. And at the end, you know, and this was like, you know what, I apologize, Mr. Henderson. I apologize to everybody. I just thought that was super, super, super cute. But let's get back to this theme of Jefferson is really struggling with being Black Lightning and all of the collateral damage around him, because he did this to save people. But in the midst of him trying to save people, so many people are still dying, or you had LaWanda die, you had Khalil get shot, you had the Reverend get shot. And it's hard for him to process all of that. And he feels like he can do everything and save everybody. And Peter's constantly telling him, like, you cannot save everyone. You're going to have to make a choice, like, on who, like, are you more concerned with saving people, or are you more concerned with finding out who is behind, like, all of this? And so I really like, even calling the episode Black Jesus. And, you know, Jesus, like, Jesus died on the cross to save everybody. And so everyone calls him this Black Jesus because he's this symbol of hope for the community, but he's struggling as Black Lightning to basically save everyone. So I really liked how, you know, that kept coming, like, Jefferson, you cannot save everybody. You're really gonna, one of these days, you're gonna have to make a decision on what your focus is, what your goal is as Black Lightning. And so even in the conversation, he goes to Two Bits, he goes to Two Bits, who he actually used to run track with him back in the day, and he kind of tries to talk to him as Jefferson and get him to quit this life. He's like, look, I got a family to take care of, so it is what it is. Like, if something happens to me, it happens to me. And so he comes back as Black Lightning, and then he still, like, gives him another chance after that. But I was like, Two Bits, how you gonna ask somebody for a picture and basically you about to go to jail, okay? You in trouble. So it was like funny, but I was like, that was a little bit too much. But then we see going towards the end of the episode, we see that the young man who was taking the drugs, you just know that Peter said in the episode that, you know, if they take it once, which is why they were given a free taste, you're going to automatically be hooked and there's nothing that you can really do about it. And so his dad calls Jefferson like, hey, you know, he went back to get more drugs and I tried to go save him, but the guy's pistol whipped me, and even the police was there and, like, they didn't do anything about it either. And so he goes and saves Brandon, but it's kind of just like, this whole thing is just crazy. Like, even the themes of when Anissa is telling them, like, why are you selling to your own people? Like, when Peter's saying, like, this is crazy. Like, these kids are over, like, 36 deaths, okay, from this drug, and nobody cares. The police doesn't care. The news doesn't even think that is worthy to have a news story. And even him talking about how, well, it's Black kids, like, overdosing, and clearly, like, nobody's going to care about it. That's another relevant topic, and I really appreciate how everything is so relevant to what's happening today with this whole little, the opiate crisis that's going on, that has been going on, but I guess now because it's affecting more middle-class white Americans, now all of a sudden it's an epidemic that people want to pay attention to. So I really, I just really appreciate this show for keeping it so real and just telling it how it is, okay? I really appreciate that. So back to Tobias' crazy behind. So Tobias calls his sister, Tori, into town to try to help him, like, hey, I have to kill Black Lightning, and I have to make sure that he is actually dead this time because my reputation's on the line, and these people are about to start coming for me if I don't produce results, aka his dead body. And so Tori comes up with the idea to turn Khalil's kind of like the poster child of the Black Lightning. Sorry, I got Black Panther in my mind, y'all. I'm going to see it tomorrow. But Black Lightning, and how he's really bad for the community. And so you see that Khalil says he had an anonymous donor send him all this stuff. And then we see Tobias at the end of the episode, who comes to him and is just like, hey, I heard about what happened to you. You know, Black Lightning ruined my life too. And so I just want to help you take that pain away, kind of repurpose it to a better cause. And I guess that's to him, like, denouncing Black Lightning and getting the community to turn against him. So I'm interested to see what happens with all that. It's kind of a good idea. Like, you know, in order to take down a hero, first you got to strip them of this hero title. So I'm interested to see how that plays out with the upcoming episodes. But I think that's pretty much my thoughts. You know, I was going to talk about Lynn and how she kind of dismissed Jefferson, but she made it right by the end of the episode to kind of tell her, like, hey, I'm still struggling internally with my emotions. So, Lynn, I'm going to let you slide this week, but I really need you to get it together and make a decision if you're going to support your man or you're not going to support your man, okay? That's all I'm saying, because I won't be too kind if you do this again. But those are my thoughts on this week's episode. Make sure you comment in the comment section below on what you thought about the episode. As always, my name is Sharronda from Pay Your Weight. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I will see you soon.